I've just had a trip to Toronto and Montreal, so today I decided to share with you the footage of my trip and my reflection on my life so far after living in Canada for almost 2 years. Number one, if I had worn pin glasses to view life in Canada, I would have been disappointed. Please don't get me wrong, Canada is not a bad place to live. Indeed, there are many advantages to living here, including social welfare. For example, if your health is in emergency condition, you won't need to worry about finance. If the doctor diagnoses that your health is in bad condition, you will be taken care of immediately. As I heard from many people, the healthcare quality here is really good. But I'm aware that if I'm not in a critical condition, I have to wait for a long time to book a doctor appointment. On the other hand, if I've had an expectation that I came here and enjoy all the social welfare without putting much effort, then I would have been disappointed. I realized that I had worked more hours than I used to in Vietnam, probably because I've been working and studying at the same time as a student, and the tuition is too high, not to mention the cost of living. Although we already chose to live in a small city, everything is relatively cheaper in Regina than in the big city, but it's still so expensive compared to life in Vietnam. I've also seen lots of people working very hard to make ends meet because everything here is so expensive compared to their home country. So there are no free meals. You have to work and pay taxes so that you can enjoy social benefits. Luckily, I didn't have much expectation about a good life in Canada. I just came here with an empty mind, ready to experience whatever comes into my ways. So I enjoyed the good and I was not disappointed by the bad that I've seen. I think there's no perfect place on earth to live. Every country and every community brings you advantages and disadvantages, and Canada is no exception. In the conventional world, everything has two sides. If you choose the good side, you need to accept the bad side as well. This leads me to the next point. Number two, if I dare to be nothing here, then I'll be at peace. Coming here, I realized that I needed to work more on transforming my ego. The ego that I want to talk about is the sense of a separate self. A self that ignorantly thinks that it can survive independently from anybody and from any condition of Mother Earth. It's about the ego that strives to be number one. If I had wanted to be number one here, I would have been terribly disappointed. As an Asian woman living in the West, I don't have any privileges, but I had to work my ass off to get things done. I had to put more effort than the white folks with the so-called white privileges. For example, in class, when we discuss a project to make decisions, my voice was usually ignored. But when a white man backed up my idea, then people tended to agree with that idea. So it's like a prejudice that people already have about women of color make it hard for us to have a say on the table. Here, most people want to be important. They work not purely for the benefits of the organization and society, but for being validated first. So if I can silently contribute without wanting to be recognized, then I'll be at peace. Then I do my best. On top of that, although Canadians are widely known as friendly and nice, I experienced subtle racism here. Canadians did not shout out in my face, "Go back to China," but they behave in a way that diminished the worth of myself and people like me. For example, immigrants are usually seen as less capable. When grading the test to hire co-op student for a co-op job, we identified a cheater. A woman on my team quickly concluded that that person must be an international student. It turned out that the cheater is a Canadian student. It's an ingrained mindset that disregard people coming from poorer countries or disregard people of color, as most international students are people of color. That's just one example, and I have a bunch. I just want to point out that white supremacy, although not true, is still so ingrained in people's minds here that mindset creates lots of barriers for immigrants and other disadvantaged groups. So as an immigrant, I just want to have a realistic expectation. I don't put myself in an overwhelming situation that I cannot handle. I don't try to climb the corporate ladder if there's a glass ceiling, which is a stereotype about women of color. I try my best to do good work and to benefit us all, and I let it all go at the end of the day. I work without the yearning for recognition, and I feel at ease, and I feel at peace. Alright, I think that's it for today. I don't want to make the topic too heavy. I just want to share a realistic picture of my life here for the last 2 years. Everybody's situation is different, so if you plan to move to Canada or Western country, don't take my words for granted. You'll learn your lesson as you go because we may have different experiences. I wish you lots of wisdom and peace of mind on your journey, and I hope to see you soon. Bye.